The light. It's not like the warm glow of a sunrise or the soft lamplight we used to read by. No, this is a demanding beast, hot and insistent, pressing against my skin like a physical weight. It's the kind of light that exposes everything, leaves no room for shadows, no place for secrets. I just finished pouring every ounce of my soul into that last note, the final chord still humming in the electric air of the studio. The crowd is a roaring wave, a sea of faces I can't quite distinguish, their applause a physical force pushing against me. And then through the blur, Emma. She's moving towards me, a vision in that dress I told her I loved, the one that brings out the green in her eyes. But tonight, the green is different, sharper. Emma drops to one knee, just like that. The roar of the audience cranks up, a deafening surge of collective delight. They think this is it, the fairy tale ending to the talent show I've poured 3 years of my life into, the one I'm tipped to win. Cameras like hungry insects zoom in, their red lights blinking, capturing every flicker of emotion on my face, on hers. The host, a man whose smile seems permanently affixed, is practically vibrating with ecstasy. This is television gold, baby, but the gold feels tarnished. My heart is hammering, but not with the joy everyone expects. It's a frantic, trapped bird beating against my ribs. Emma's hand, the one holding out the ridiculously small velvet box, is trembling. Not just a little, but a noticeable, betraying tremor. I know her hands. I've held them through nightmares, through celebrations, through quiet Sunday mornings. This isn't proposal jitters. This is something else. And then, the scent. It hits me, a ghost in the manufactured air of the studio. It's faint, almost entirely masked by her usual jasmine perfume, but it's there. His cologne. The same sandalwood and bergamot I've been smelling on our towels, in the lingering air of our bedroom after she's claimed a late night working. Weeks. It's been weeks of this silent haunting, this invisible intruder in our shared life. The metallic tang of betrayal floods my mouth, sharp and bitter like sucking on a handful of old pennies. My smile, the one I'm supposed to be beaming, feels stretched, a painful grimace I can barely maintain. My eyes, darting, desperate, catch movement in the wings, just past the edge of the heavy velvet curtain. A silhouette. Tall, lean, familiar. My breath catches. It can't be. But it is. The way he shifts his weight, that slight tilt of the head. David. The host is gushing. "Marcus, my man! Speechless! Emma, that was incredible! Folks, have you ever seen anything like it?" Emma's looking up at me, her eyes wide, imploring. But there's a frantic edge to her gaze, a desperate plea that has nothing to do with love and everything to do with control. She needs this to go her way. She needs the yes. I have to think. I can't do this here, not like this. The answer is a burning coal in my throat, but I can't spit it out yet. Not the answer they want, anyway. "Wow," I manage, my voice sounding rough, distant even to my own ears. "Emma, I need a moment. Just a moment to breathe air that isn't thick with her lies and his scent. Could I just have a moment to compose myself?" It's the oldest trick in the book, the dramatic pause. The audience will eat it up, thinking I'm overcome with emotion. And I am, just not the emotion they're imagining. The host, ever the showman, nods sagely. "Of course, son. Take your time. This is a big moment." Emma's smile falters, a tiny crack in the perfect facade. Confusion flickers in her eyes. This isn't part of her script. I offer her a shaky hand, not to accept the ring, but to help her up. She takes it, her skin surprisingly cold. I don't look at her. I can't. Instead, my gaze is fixed on the wings. I take a step, then another, moving away from the center stage, away from the proposal, leaving Emma standing there, the rejected ring still in her outstretched hand. A look of dawning horror beginning to etch itself onto her beautiful, deceitful face. The spotlight feels like an accusation on my back as I walk towards the shadows, towards him. The whispers start almost immediately, a low hum beneath the residual cheers. What's he doing? Is he okay? I hear the host trying to fill the dead air, his voice a little too bright, a little too forced. Well, folks, it seems our Marcus is truly overwhelmed. Let's give him a moment, shall we? We'll be right back after a quick break. Good, a break. That's exactly what I need. A break from this charade. The transition from the blinding stage lights to the relative dimness of the backstage area is jarring. My eyes take a second to adjust, but my other senses are already on high alert. The air here is cooler, carrying the scent of dust, old props, and something else. Oh yes, that damned sandalwood and bergamot. Stronger now. Undiluted. And there he is. David. My former best friend. My business partner. Until I'd started to suspect things were going south, not just with the business, but with everything. He's trying to look casual, leaning against a stack of flight cases, but his knuckles are white where he's gripping his phone. He sees me approaching, and the casual facade evaporates like morning mist. Panic flashes in his eyes. He knows. He knows I know. Marcus. His voice is a dry croak. Man, that was some performance. And Emma, wow, didn't see that coming. He's trying to play dumb, but he's a terrible actor when he's not actively trying to steal someone's life. Didn't you? I keep my voice low, dangerously calm. The rage is a living thing inside me now, coiling and uncoiling in my gut, but I can't let it take over. Not yet. I need to be clear. I need him to understand what he's done, what they've done. It all started 3 weeks ago, or maybe it started before that, and I was just too blind, too trusting to see it. But 3 weeks ago, that's when the first concrete shard of doubt pierced through my carefully constructed reality. Emma's phone, lying on the bedside table, screen lit up with a message. It was late, almost 2 a.m., and I'd gotten up for a glass of water. She was asleep, or pretending to be. The message was from Dee. Just Dee, still thinking about last night. You were amazing. My blood ran cold. D for David? It couldn't be. The sound of her phone buzzing at 2 a.m. became a sickeningly regular occurrence after that. Each vibration a small explosion in the quiet darkness of our room, each one a fresh wave of nausea washing over me. I'd started noticing other things. The late nights at the office that David wasn't even supposed to be at. The hushed phone calls she'd take in the other room, her voice dropping to a murmur if I walked in. The way she'd started guarding her phone like it was the crown jewels. I tried to rationalize it. Stress from the competition. Work pressure. Maybe Dee was a new client, a demanding one. I clung to these flimsy explanations, desperate to believe them, because the alternative was unthinkable. Emma, my Emma, the woman I'd built my world around, betraying me? And with David? The man who'd been like a brother to me? Cut the crap, David. My voice is like gravel. Her perfume, it's your cologne I smell on her. The same damn scent that's been clinging to everything in my apartment. His eyes widen. He takes a step back, bumping into the flight cases. Marcus, I don't know what you're talking about. Don't you? I take a step closer, invading his space. I can smell his fear now, mingling with the cloying sweetness of his cologne. She had a hickey on her neck tonight, David. Barely covered. You think I'm stupid? His face pales. He looks like a cornered animal. It's not what you think. Oh, I think it's exactly what I think. My hands are trembling, balled into fists at my sides. The rage is a white-hot inferno now, and it's taking every ounce of my willpower to keep it leashed. I can see it all so clearly, the pieces clicking into place with sickening precision. The late nights, the hushed calls, the shared glances I'd dismissed as paranoia, the way he'd started subtly undermining my business ideas, only for suspiciously similar concepts to emerge from his own work a few weeks later. He wasn't just sleeping with my girlfriend. He was systematically trying to dismantle my life. Suddenly, Emma is there. She must have slipped away when the commercial break started. Her face is a mask of strained composure, but her eyes are darting frantically between me and David. "Marcus? What's going on? Everyone's waiting." "Are they?" I say, my voice dangerously soft. "Good. Let them wait a little longer." She reaches for my arm. "Marcus, please, let's just go back out there. We can talk about this later." "Talk about what, Emma?" I pull my arm away. "Talk about how you've been sleeping with my best friend, or how you've been helping him steal from me." Her composure shatters. Tears well in her eyes, but I can't bring myself to feel any pity, not now. "Don't do this, Marcus. Please, not here, not like this." "Why not, Emma?" My voice is rising now, the control slipping. "You seemed pretty happy to do this on live television a few minutes ago." I gesture vaguely towards the stage. "You wanted a show? You're going to get one." A production assistant scurries over, headset askew. "Marcus, we're back on in 30 seconds. Are you ready?" He looks nervously between the three of us, clearly sensing the explosive tension. I ignore him. My eyes are locked on Emma. Then, a cold, clear thought cuts through the anger. The cameras, they're still out there. The audience, millions watching. She wanted a public spectacle. "Fine." I turn to the PA. "Yeah," I say, my voice surprisingly steady. "Keep the cameras rolling. Tell them I'm coming back out. I have an answer for Emma." Emma's eyes widen in genuine terror. David looks like he's about to be sick. "Marcus, no!" Emma whispers, grabbing my arm again, her nails digging into my skin. I shake her off, not roughly, but with a chilling finality. "It's a little late for no, Emma." I turn and walk back towards the stage, towards the heat of those unforgiving lights, leaving her and David standing in the shadows, their carefully constructed world about to come crashing down. I'm going back on stage, and I'm going to give my answer. My real answer. The stage feels different now. The applause is more tentative as I walk back to the center, a ripple of confusion and anticipation spreading through the audience. The host, bless his oblivious heart, is beaming again. "He's back, folks! Marcus, you had us worried there for a second. So the lovely Emma is waiting. The whole world is waiting. What's it gonna be?" Emma is standing where I left her, the velvet box still clutched in her hand like a lifeline. Her face is pale, her eyes wide and fixed on me. She looks small and fragile under the harsh lights, but I can't let that sway me. I know the steel beneath that delicate facade. I take the microphone from the stand. The metal is cool against my palm. I take a deep breath, trying to steady the tremor in my own hands. The hot stage lights are already making beads of sweat form on my forehead. Or maybe that's just the nerves, the adrenaline. It doesn't matter. "Thank you," I begin, my voice surprisingly clear, amplified by the speakers, filling the vast studio. "Thank you all for being here tonight. And thank you, Emma." I turn to her, and for a fleeting second, I see a glimmer of hope in her eyes, quickly extinguished by my next words. "Thank you for that performance." A confused murmur ripples through the audience. Emma flinches as if struck. "You know," I continue, addressing the audience now, my voice taking on a conversational, almost confessional tone. Being in a competition like this, you learn a lot about performance, about what's real and what's curated for an audience. I pace the stage slowly, deliberately, making eye contact with the people in the front rows, with the cameras. You learn about telling a story. Sometimes the story is beautiful, inspiring. Sometimes it's a carefully crafted illusion. Emma knows where this is going. I can see the panic dawning in her eyes, the desperate shake of her head, almost imperceptible, but I see it. She opens her mouth, as if to speak, to interrupt, to salvage something from the wreckage I'm about to create. Tonight, I press on, my voice gaining strength. I thought I was part of one kind of story. A love story, maybe. A story of triumph, of dreams coming true. I pause, letting the silence hang heavy in the air. But it turns out I was in a different kind of story altogether. A story about betrayal, about deceit. The audience is silent now. Utterly, completely silent. The earlier excitement has evaporated, replaced by an uncomfortable, voyeuristic tension. They sense the drama, the real, unscripted drama, and they are hooked. Emma's face, the one I've loved for 3 years, the one I've woken up to countless mornings, is crumbling. The carefully constructed mask of the adoring girlfriend is cracking, revealing the terrified, guilty woman beneath. It's a painful sight, even for me, but I can't stop now. The truth has its own momentum. You see, I say, my voice laced with a sadness that is all too real. Sometimes the people you trust the most are the ones who are best at performing. They can look you in the eye, tell you they love you, while all along they're playing a completely different role backstage. Emma lets out a small, choked sob. The microphone picks it up, amplifying her distress for the entire nation to hear. Good. Let them hear it. Let them see the real story. I maintain my composure, a stark contrast to her unraveling. This is my stage now. My narrative. I'm in control. They can weave a web of lies so intricate, so convincing, that you start to doubt your own sanity. You ignore the warning signs, the little inconsistencies, because the truth is too painful to confront. Suddenly, there's a commotion from the wings. David. He's striding onto the stage, his face a mixture of anger and desperation. He's making a beeline for me, clearly intent on stopping this. "Marcus, that's enough. You don't know what you're talking about." The host, finally jolted out of his stunned silence, tries to intervene. "Whoa there, folks! Let's just all take a breath." But I'm ready for him. I hold up a hand, stopping David in his tracks. "Oh, I think I do, David. I think I know exactly what I'm talking about." My voice is ice. "And I think the audience deserves to know too, don't you?" David freezes, his bravado deflating like a pricked balloon. He looks from me to Emma, then out at the sea of curious, judgmental faces. He's trapped. I turn back to the audience, a grim smile playing on my lips. "You see, folks, this isn't just about a broken heart, it's about a stolen life." I reach into my pocket, my fingers closing around the cool metal of my phone. I pull it out, my thumb hovering over the screen. And I have the receipts. The collective gasp from the audience is audible. Emma lets out a strangled cry. David looks like he's seen a ghost. The stage lights feel hotter than ever, but I'm not sweating anymore. I'm cold and clear and utterly resolved. I tap the screen and the large monitors above the stage, the ones that usually show close-ups of the performers or flashy graphics, flicker to life. The first image is a grainy photo, clearly taken in low light. It's Emma and David, mouths locked in a passionate kiss, his hands tangled in her hair. It's unmistakably them. The location is a dimly lit bar, one I don't recognize. Another photo flashes up. Emma, laughing, head thrown back, David's arm possessively around her waist. This one is clearer, taken outdoors, a park bench in the background. Then a short video clip, no sound, but the intimacy is undeniable. Them, sitting close on a sofa, her head on his shoulder, his lips brushing her temple. The kind of casual, comfortable intimacy that speaks of shared secrets and stolen moments. The audience erupts, gasps, shouts, the distinct, sharp click of hundreds of phone cameras activating as people start recording the screens, recording Emma's horrified face, David's stunned paralysis. It's a feeding frenzy. Emma covers her mouth, tears streaming down her face now, mascara creating black quivers on her cheeks. She's shaking her head, muttering, "No, no, please, Marcus, stop!" David lunges. He actually tries to charge at me, probably to snatch the phone, to stop the slideshow of his deceit. But stage security, finally spurred into action, intercepts him. Two burly men grab his arms, restraining him as he struggles and shouts incoherently. My voice, when I speak again, finally cracks. The carefully constructed dam of my composure breaks, and a wave of genuine, raw pain washes through me. "For 3 years," I say, my voice thick with emotion. "I loved her. I trusted her. I trusted him." I gesture towards David, who's now being forcibly escorted off the stage, still shouting. "He was my best friend. My brother." The audience is silent again, hanging on my every word. Even the host looks shaken. "I built a life with her. I built a business with him. And all along—" I trail off, shaking my head, the enormity of their betrayal threatening to overwhelm me. All along, they were doing this, laughing at me, using me. I take a shaky breath. You want to know about performance versus reality? I look directly at Emma, who's now just standing there, exposed and broken. This is reality. The performance is over." I turn slightly, acknowledging the cameras, the millions watching. "Thank you, Emma. Thank you for teaching me a very valuable lesson about the difference." My voice is laced with a bitterness that even I find surprising. This isn't just about the affair. That's the tip of the iceberg. The personal betrayal is devastating, yes, but there's a deeper, more insidious layer to this. This is about ambition, greed, and the systematic destruction of everything I've worked for. "But this story," I announce, my voice ringing with a new, harder edge, "it doesn't end there, because this isn't just about a cheating girlfriend and a backstabbing friend." I pause, letting the words sink in, watching Emma's eyes widen further, a new kind of fear dawning in them. She knows what's coming, or at least she's beginning to suspect. There's more. The silence in the studio is absolute, a held breath. Even the usually unflappable host seems to be rooted to the spot, his professional smile long gone, replaced by a look of stunned fascination. This is a train wreck, a glorious, unadulterated, prime-time train wreck, and everyone has a front row seat. "You see," I continue, my gaze sweeping across the audience, then landing, with deliberate weight, back on Emma. "The betrayal runs much deeper than stolen kisses and secret meetings." I can see her trembling, even from this distance. David is gone, dragged off into the backstage shadows, but his presence still hangs heavy in the air, a phantom limb of their shared deceit. "David didn't just steal my girlfriend," I say, the words sharp and precise, each one a carefully aimed dart. "He stole my music. He stole my business ideas. He tried to steal my future." A low murmur ripples through the crowd. This is a new twist, a layer of intrigue they hadn't anticipated. This is more than just a messy breakup. This is a story of professional sabotage, of ambition curdled into something ugly and destructive. I let my mind drift back, just for a moment, to the early days. College, David and I, inseparable. We were two halves of a whole, or so I thought. I was the creative one, the dreamer, the melodies and lyrics spilling out of me faster than I could write them down. He was the pragmatist, the planner, the one with the head for business and the knack for making connections. We were going to conquer the world together. His laugh, I remember it so clearly, that easy, infectious laugh that could make even the most stressful all-nighter feel like an adventure. The memory is a bitter pill now, a stark reminder of how thoroughly I'd been duped. The sound of his laugh during our college days, once a symbol of camaraderie, now echoes in my mind as the sound of mockery. We built a company together, I tell the silent audience, my voice resonating with the remembered passion of those early dreams. Or rather, I built it, and he was very good at taking credit. He was even better at siphoning off the profits, at diverting opportunities, at subtly poisoning my reputation with collaborators and clients. Flashbacks flicker in my mind. David, smooth-talking a potential investor, using phrases and concepts I'd brainstormed only days before, presenting them as his own. David, accidentally deleting crucial files from a shared drive, files that contained months of my work. David, spreading rumors that I was unreliable, difficult to work with, creatively blocked. Each incident, a small cut, a pinprick of doubt. Alone, they were explainable, dismissible. But together they painted a devastating picture of calculated betrayal. And Emma? I turned to her, my voice dropping, becoming almost conversational, which somehow makes it even more menacing. Emma was his inside woman, his accomplice. Her head snaps up, her eyes blazing with a desperate denial. "No, Marcus, that's not true. I never—" "Didn't you?" I cut her off, my voice like silk sliding over steel. "Didn't you tell him about the new song I was working on? The one I poured my heart into, only for him to release a suspiciously similar track a month later? Didn't you accidentally leave your laptop open, the one with all my business plans, the night before he pitched a new venture that mirrored mine Joey Wanbyohaj?" Her face crumples. The fight goes out of her. She knows I have her. The evidence for this part isn't on my phone. It's in the paper trail I've been meticulously assembling for months. She fed him information about my plans, my contacts, my vulnerabilities, I tell the rapt audience. She helped him undermine my career, inch by painful inch, all while pretending to be my loving, supportive girlfriend. The feeling that washes over me then is not rage, not even sadness. It's liberation. A strange, heady sense of release. The truth, however ugly, is finally out. The secrets, the lies, the carefully constructed facade. They're all dissolving under the harsh glare of the spotlights, and in their place, something clean and hard and real is emerging. I am finally speaking my truth, and it is terrifying and exhilarating all at once. The host, finally regaining some semblance of his professional composure, steps forward. He looks flustered, out of his depth. This is clearly far beyond the usual talent show drama. "Marcus, this is a lot to take in. Perhaps we should—" I cut him off, not with words, but with a look that says, "This is my stage now, my show." He falters, retreating a step. I turn back to the cameras, addressing them directly, speaking not just to the studio audience, but to the millions watching at home, to my fans, the ones who've supported me, believed in me, even when I was starting to doubt myself. For a long time, I say, my voice resonating with a newfound strength, I let them make me feel small. I let them chip away at my confidence, at my creativity. I let them convince me that I was the problem. I pause, taking a deep, steadying breath. But no more. My hand goes to my jacket pocket again, but this time it's not my phone I'm reaching for. My fingers close around a sheaf of folded papers, legal documents, contracts, affidavits, the real weapons in this war. Because, you see, I say, a slow, deliberate smile spreading across my face, a smile that doesn't quite reach my eyes, a smile that speaks of sleepless nights and carefully laid plans. This performance isn't just for you. I pull out the documents, the crisp paper rustling ominously in the sudden absolute silence of the studio. It's for them. The rustle of the papers is the loudest sound in the studio. It's a dry, papery whisper that seems to suck all the other noise out of the air. Emma stares at the documents in my hand as if they're live scorpions. Her face, already pale, drains of its remaining color. She understands. This isn't just a public shaming. This is the opening salvo in a battle she's about to lose. Badly. For months, I announce, my voice calm, almost serene, a stark contrast to the turmoil I'm about to unleash. I've been building a case. A legal case. I let the papers fall open slightly, giving a glimpse of dense text, signatures, official-looking stamps. It turns out, when you suspect your best friend and your girlfriend are systematically trying to ruin your life, you start paying closer attention. You start collecting. I can see the dawning horror in Emma's eyes, the sick realization of just how badly she's miscalculated, how thoroughly she's been outplayed. She thought this was a game of hearts. She didn't realize I was playing chess. I've been recording conversations, I continue, my gaze unwavering, pinning her in place. Gathering evidence, emails, text messages, financial records, witness statements. Each word is a hammer blow, demolishing the last vestiges of her composure. It's amazing what people will say, what they'll admit to, when they think you're too stupid, too trusting, or too heartbroken to notice. Emma and David, they thought they were so clever, so subtle. They thought they were pulling the strings, manipulating me, outmaneuvering me. But they were caught in a web of their own making, and I was just patiently waiting for the right moment to tighten the strands. Tonight, I say, a thin, predatory smile touching my lips as I watch the panic flare in her eyes. Tonight was perfect. A live audience, millions watching. What better opportunity for a public confession? Or, at the very least, to ensure that when the full story comes out, everyone will know who the real villains are. My smile is genuine now, but it's not a happy one. It's the grim satisfaction of a plan coming together, of justice, however painful, finally being served. 2 new security guards are walking purposefully towards the side of the stage where David had been dragged. They exchange a few words with a frantic-looking production manager, then nod. One of them speaks into his radio. They're not just removing him from the stage anymore. They're escorting him out of the building, probably to meet the police officers I'd arranged to have on standby. Oh yes, I'd thought of everything. I remained center stage, completely in control. The documents in my hand are a shield and a sword. The spotlights, once accusatory, now feel like a coronation. This is my moment of reclamation. Emma is just standing there, a statue carved from despair. The fight has completely drained out of her. She looks small, insignificant, a pathetic footnote in a story that is now, finally, mine. I let the documents fall to my side, the rustle of the paper a final, dismissive sound. My attention is solely on her now. The audience, the cameras, the world, they all fade into the background. There's just me and Emma, and the ruins of what we once had. It's time for the final act. I turn to Emma, my voice softer now, devoid of the earlier anger, the triumphant edge, just a weary, profound sadness. She's still on her knees, or rather, she's sunk back down onto them. the rejected ring lying on the stage beside her like a discarded promise. Her shoulders are slumped, her head bowed. The picture of utter devastation. It's a far cry from the radiant, confident woman who had proposed to me, what feels like a lifetime ago. "Emma," I begin, and her head jerks up, her eyes red-rimmed and pleading. "For 3 years I loved you. I thought you were it, my person, the one I would build a life with, share my dreams with, grow old with. The words are simple, honest, and they carry the weight of all those shattered illusions. The silence in the studio is profound. It's not the tense, expectant silence of before, but something heavier, more somber. It's the silence of a wake, of a public mourning for a love that has died a very public death. You can almost hear the collective breath being held by thousands of people, in the studio and in their living rooms, hanging on every word, every nuance of this final, agonizing exchange. "I trusted you," I continue, my voice barely above a whisper, yet it carries in the charged stillness. "With my heart, with my dreams, with my vulnerabilities. I showed you the parts of myself I'd never shown anyone else, and you took all of that, and you handed it to him." A fresh wave of tears spills down her cheeks. She opens her mouth, a choked, desperate sound escaping. "Marcus, I'm so sorry, please, I never meant, I was confused, Her voice trails off, her excuses lame and hollow even to her own ears. I take a step towards her, and then, in a gesture that surprises even myself, I reach down and gently, almost tenderly, help her to her feet. It's a final act of kindness, a ghost of the man I used to be, the man who loved her. She sways slightly, and for a moment, I think she might collapse. I lean in close, my lips near her ear, and I whisper something only she can hear. Something for her, and her alone. A final, private goodbye to the woman I thought I knew. Her eyes widen, a flicker of understanding, of fresh pain passing through them. Then she closes them, a single tear tracing a path through the ruins of her makeup. I step back, severing that last fragile connection. I retrieve the microphone from the stand where I'd left it. I turn to the audience, to the cameras, one last time. "They say the best art comes from pain," I say, my voice stronger now, a new resolve hardening my tone. And I've certainly had my share of that lately. A wry, humorless smile touches my lips. "So I did what I always do. I wrote a song." A buzz of anticipation runs through the audience. This is unexpected. A new song now? "It's called Ashes and Embers," I announce, and a hush falls once more. And it's about betrayal. It's about rising from the ruins. It's about finding your own truth when the world around you is built on lies. I glance at Emma, a fleeting, final look. She's watching me, her face a mask of bewildered grief. Then, I turn to my band, who are looking at me with a mixture of shock and dawning understanding. I give them a sharp nod. They hesitate for only a second. Then, as if by some unspoken command, they pick up their instruments. The drummer counts off a beat, a so mournful rhythm. The guitarist plays a single haunting chord. This wasn't rehearsed. This wasn't on the set list. This is raw, unplanned, and utterly, terrifyingly real. I take a deep breath and begin to sing. The first notes are tentative, a mournful melody that seems to hang in the air, heavy with unshed tears. My voice is raw, not with the polished perfection of my earlier performance, but with the ragged edge of real emotion. It's the sound of a heart breaking, and a spirit, somehow, refusing to shatter. "You built your castle on my shifting sands," I sing, my eyes closed, picturing Emma, picturing David, picturing the wreckage of our shared past. "Played with my heart, held it in your careless hands. Emma is watching from the wings, where she's retreated, half hidden in the shadows. Her face is illuminated by the faint spill of the stage lights, and I can see the devastation etched there. Good. Let her watch. Let her hear every word, every nuance of the pain she's inflicted. The vibration of my own voice through the microphone is a strange comfort, a physical manifestation of the emotions churning inside me. It's grounding, even as the lyrics tear me apart. Your promises, like whispers in the breeze, scattered like leaves from dying autumn trees. The audience is utterly captivated. No one is moving. No one is speaking. They are witnessing something intensely personal, something brutally honest. It's not a performance anymore. It's a confession, a lament, a declaration of survival. Tears are streaming down my face now, hot and unstoppable, but I don't try to wipe them away. Let them see. Let them understand the cost of this betrayal. The camera, I know, is close, capturing every flicker of pain, every tremor of my voice. But from the ashes, embers start to glow. The song shifts, the tempo quickening slightly, a hint of defiance creeping into my voice. A strength I never knew begins to grow. This is the turning point, not just in the song, but in me. The pain is still there, a dull ache in my chest, but it's no longer all-consuming. It's being transformed, transmuted into something else, into art, into power. The band swells behind me, catching the shift in mood, their instruments weaving a tapestry of sound that is both mournful and hopeful. The song builds, a crescendo of emotion, a primal scream wrapped in melody and rhythm. I'm not just singing about betrayal anymore. I'm singing about rebirth, about resilience, about the fierce, stubborn refusal to be broken. You tried to bury me, but you forgot. I belt out the final lines, my voice soaring, filled with a newfound strength. That I'm a seed, I'll rise, I'll take my shot. The final chord hangs in the air, a vibrating, resonant note of defiance. And then silence. A beat of stunned silence, and then the eruption. The applause is a tidal wave, a deafening roar that washes over me, a physical force. It's more than just appreciation for a song. It's a validation, an embrace, a collective understanding. I stand there, chest heaving, tears still wet on my face, the microphone clutched in my hand. I take my final bow, alone. Center stage, under the glare of those unforgiving lights, but they don't feel hostile anymore. They feel like a spotlight on a new beginning. The roar of the standing ovation is deafening, a physical presence that presses against my eardrums, vibrates through the floorboards. It's a wave of sound, of energy, of acceptance. I look out at the blur of faces, the clapping hands, and for the first time in weeks, maybe months, a genuine, unforced smile touches my lips. It's a weary smile, tinged with sadness, but it's real. My eyes instinctively flick to the wings. Emma is still there, a silhouette against the dim backstage light. Our eyes meet for a fraction of a second. There's no anger in her gaze now, just a hollow, echoing despair. I give a small, almost imperceptible nod, a final acknowledgement, a final goodbye. Then I turn and walk off stage, away from the applause, away from her, away from the life we once shared. The moment I step into the relative quiet of the backstage area, the chaos hits. Production crew rushing around, the host trying to get my attention, my manager already on his phone, no doubt fielding calls from frantic media outlets. Social media, I'm sure, is already exploding. The footage of my onstage confrontation, the evidence, the raw, emotional performance, it's tailor-made for viral infamy. But I don't stop. I don't engage. I walk through the chaos as if in a dream, a strange sense of detachment settling over me. The exhaustion is starting to hit, a deep, bone-weary fatigue. But beneath it, there's a surprising sense of relief. It's done. The truth is out. I ignore the calls, the questions, the sympathetic glances. I head straight for my dressing room, a small, anonymous space that suddenly feels like a sanctuary. I close the door, shutting out the noise, the drama, the world. Silence. Blessed, welcome silence. I walk over to the mirror, the one surrounded by harsh, unflattering bulbs. I look at my reflection. My face is tear-stained, my eyes red, my hair disheveled. I look wrecked. But as I stare into my own eyes, I see something else too. A flicker of strength, a glimmer of resolve. For the first time in years, I see myself. Clearly. Without the filter of Emma's expectations, without the shadow of David's manipulations. Just me. And for the first time in a long time, that feels like enough. 3 months. It's funny how quickly life can change, how completely a landscape can be reshaped. The video, as predicted, went nuclear. The betrayal broadcast, as the tabloids dubbed it. It was everywhere. My song, Ashes and Embers, the one I'd bled out onto that stage, topped the charts in a dozen countries. My career, the one David had tried so hard to sabotage, exploded. It turned out, vulnerability, raw honesty, resonated with people more than any carefully crafted image ever could. I'm standing on the balcony of my new house, a small place overlooking the ocean. The fresh, salt-tinged breeze is a world away from the stale, manufactured air of that television studio. The sound of the waves is a soothing balm to a soul that's been through a war. I've rebuilt my life, my business, piece by piece, on my own terms. Betrayal is a harsh teacher, but its lessons are potent. Growth, self-respect, boundaries. I learned them all the hard way, but I learned them. I take a deep breath, the ocean air filling my lungs, cleansing, renewing. A genuine smile, the kind that reaches your eyes, spreads across my face. It's a new feeling, this lightness, this unburdened joy. I pull out my phone, scroll through my contacts until I find her name. Emma. I hesitate for only a second, a fleeting ghost of a memory, then I press delete. Confirmation pops up. Are you sure? Oh, I'm sure. I slip the phone back into my pocket. The sun is beginning to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. A new day is ending, and a new chapter is waiting to be written. And for the first time in a very, very long time, I'm ready to write it. Alone.